Good morning to you all. I welcome you all in my YouTube channel, that is Biology at Fingertips by Saurabh Yadav. And today I have taken an important topic of the biomolecule that we are going to read, that is the monosaccharide. Okay, so still we have completed that what is the basically carbohydrate are known as the why we have called that carbohydrate. The previous definition of carbohydrate was these are known as the hydrates of carbon, and in our previous video we have clarified that now the basic definition or the modern definition can be called as what we can call carbohydrate as polyhydroxy ketone or polyhydroxyaldehyde. Now we have to proceed further, so we are proceeding further. Now just look here, the classification of monosaccharides. Now these monosaccharides can be classified on the basis of number of carbon atoms that are present in them. So look at here, that is the classification of monosaccharides on the basis of number of carbon atoms. How many carbon atoms that are present in any monosaccharide, then it can be divided into several classes. So first of all, we have to know that basically the simplest monosaccharide having 3 carbon. This means monosaccharide starts with a compound that is having 3 carbon, and the largest carbohydrate contains how many carbon? 7 carbon. So all these monosaccharides will be included into this much. Either it is having carbon 3 to carbon 7 molecules. This means the monosaccharide or the simplest monosaccharide having 3 carbon, after that it may take 4 carbon, 5 carbon, 6 carbon, and the last, that is the largest carbohydrate, that is the 7 carbon. So there is a range in which this whole monosaccharide can be studied. First, the simplest carbohydrate will start, that is having 3 carbon only. So the monosaccharide will start from 3 carbon, that carbon containing 3 atoms, and after that C4, C5, C6, C7. C7 is the largest carbon atoms that is included in the monosaccharide. So it is a range between C3 to C7. So this basic monosaccharide will start with the carbon 3. Now let us know the various type of names that has been given to the monosaccharides on the basis of number. First, that is the trioses. What I am calling trioses. This means number of carbon in it is 3. So according to the molecular formula, that is the CnH2nOn, we can identify the common formula for the trioses. Common formula for the trioses may be put n is equal to 3 here, CnH2nOn, putting 3 at the place of n, C3, H2 into 3, 6, O3. So the molecular formula or the common formula for the trioses is C3H6O3. The some common types of triose sugar may be DHAP, DHAP. DHAP matlab dihydroxy acetone phosphate, and the second triose sugar is PAGAL, PGAL, phosphoglycerol aldehyde. Now the next one, the next type of monosaccharide is tetroses. This means the number of carbon in it is 4. Okay, its common formula may be C4H8O8 O4. I have put n is equal to 4, C4H8O4. So the common formula for the tetroses may be C4H8O4. Now the components of this tetrose sugar may be erythrose and erythrulose. Okay, Once again I am repeating, erythrose and erythrulose is a monosaccharide that contains 4 carbon. Okay. Now proceeding further, the next type of monosaccharide is pentoses. So the number of carbon atoms in it is 5. So the common formula may be C5H10O5 according to the formula that we have derived for the carbohydrate. And the various type of components are included in this pentose sugar. For example, xylose, it is also a pentose sugar. Xylulose, it is also a pentose sugar. Deoxyribose, it is also a pentose sugar. Ribose, arabinose and ribulose, all these are basically pentoses because they are containing 5 carbon atoms. And now the basic difference between ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar. Suppose this is the basically it is a pentose sugar, so number of carbon may be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let us explain you this, that how could you write this ribose sugar. Ribose sugar, simply the number of carbon may be 5. So again drawing this C, 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 C. How many carbon it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number of carbon is equal to 5, and both ribose sugar and deoxyribose sugar is basically the type of functional group that is found in both ribose and deoxyribose is aldehyde. So on first group you have to write HCO. This means aldehyde. HCO, it is representing aldehyde. Okay. After that, you have to put all OH on right side and H on left side. So OH, OH, OH and at last CH2OH. Okay. All the OH we have to put in the right side, and after that all the H will be in left side. So this is the basic structure of ribose. When you will look at the second carbon, this is the first carbon, this is the second carbon, this is the fourth, this is the fifth carbon. Okay, look at the second carbon. It is having OH on the right side and H on the left side. Emphasize upon this point. Okay, this is the same thing that I have drawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why I am saying that concentrate on this point? Because whenever we will draw the structure of deoxyribose sugar, this means oxygen will be absent in the deoxy. Deoxy simply means absence of oxygen. Deoxy means simply there will be one oxygen less. Okay, so now we are going to draw the deoxyribose. From that you can find out the basic difference between ribose and deoxyribose. And ribose sugar, as I have already told you, it is present in RNA and its molecular formula. Just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many carbon? 5. Okay. Hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So H10. Now count the O. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this ribose sugar is following the common formula for the pentoses, C5H10O5, and the common formula for the pentoses also is C5H10O5. This means it is obeying this law. Okay, but what will be the condition in deoxyribose? Okay, now again drawing this deoxyribose, there will be the same thing. C double bond O, H, CH, H, COH, H, COH, H, and at last CH2OH. Now this is the first carbon, this is the second carbon, this is the third, this is the fourth, this is the fifth carbon. These are the 5 carbons that are present here. Now what I have told you, that you have to concentrate on which carbon? Carbon number 2. So I am underlining this carbon number 2. Okay. Now when you will look at this point of carbon number 2 and comparing this with the ribose sugar. This is the ribose sugar. Okay. And this is the, why I am calling it is a deoxyribose, because when the concentration point is C, then you identify that there is a lack of oxygen here and oxygen is found. Here there is no oxygen. Here also H, here also H. This means in this there is lack of oxygen. This means oxygen is not found here. Where beta? At the second carbon atom. So this is the structure of deoxy. So there is an absence of oxygen. That's why I am calling it a deoxy. Deoxy ribose sugar. What I am calling it as deoxy ribose sugar. This means oxygen is less in this particular structure. So write down the molecular formula. How many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So C5. Okay. Note this point. How many carbon is there? C5. Okay. How many hydrogen is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. H10. How many oxygen is present? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 oxygen is present in case of deoxyribose sugar. This means 1 oxygen which is less is basically absent on carbon number 2. So this formula C5H10O4, if it is a pentose sugar, yes it is a pentose sugar, but it is not obeying this law. If there will be any pentose sugar, then it must have the formula C5H10O5, but this deoxyribose sugar is having formula C5H10O4. This means it is exception. It is a exception of this pentose sugar. Okay, ji. So that's why we have discussed that this formula is not applicable for all the type of pentose sugar. Yeah, it is a pentose sugar. Deoxyribose is a pentose sugar, but it is not following this formula. Okay, note this point. This is also, so deoxyribose sugar, where it is found? It is found in DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and ribose sugar found in RNA, ribonucleic acid. Note this point. In the next section, we are going to study the hexoses, the type of hexoses that are present. Now, let us know the classification of the hexoses. Hexoses, as the name suggests, the number of carbon which is present in it must be 6. So, number of carbon is equal to 6. So, the common formula for this hexoses is C6H12O6. Okay. What are the different hexose sugar that are present? The first hexose sugar is the glucose. Second, that will be the fructose, and third, that will be the galactose. Now, sometimes the question may be asked according to the some common names that has been given to the either glucose, given either to the galactose, given either to the fructose. Sometimes question may be asked from the common names also. So that's why I am discussing each and every point of this glucose. After that we will discuss the fructose, and after that we will discuss the galactose. First that we are going to discuss, that is the glucose. Glucose, the basic common formula is C6H12O6. All of these having the same formula. Now the glucose is commonly or mostly found in grapes. Most abundantly it is present in grapes. That's why it is commonly known as grape sugar. Which sugar? Grape sugar. Now the second thing, it is most abundantly found in also blood stream. This means in blood, in our blood. Okay, so it is also known as blood sugar. Okay, the third point, it is the main respiratory substrate. This means it undergoes respiration by the help of various type of respiratory enzymes, and they convert this complex food material. This means glucose, suppose this is the glucose C6H12O6, it undergoes respiration, then the 3 carbon product may be formed. That is this is the 6 carbon product. How many carbon it is having? C6. So it is a complex carbohydrate, and the product which is formed is the pyruvic acid. It is containing 3 carbon. So it is the simple carbohydrate, we can say that. It is changing a complex carbohydrate into simple carbohydrate. So whenever a large substance is broken down into the smaller substance, then in that cases it releases some amount of energy. So it undergoes respiration to convert this complex into simple, and some H2O and ATP or energy is formed, and this adenosine triphosphate is known as energy currency that can be utilized by any living organism for doing day-to-day work, for doing its life processes, any life processes. Okay, so it is the main respiratory substance. Main respiratory substrate means it is going into the respiration. It is going to be respired, and it will be providing some amount of energy that can be utilized for doing our life processes. And the last thing, it rotates the plane polarized light. Suppose this is a PPL. Okay ji, it is passing through glucose, as glucose is a chiral compound. Glucose is a chiral compound. So when plane polarized light, plane polarized light passes out through this glucose, then this PPL is deviated in right direction, that is known as clockwise direction, or in the right side, and it may be represented by plus or small d, that is known as dextrorotatory. Okay, dextrorotatory. Okay, so it rotates the plane polarized light in right or clockwise direction, so it is known as the dextrorotatory. Dextrorotatory can be represented by either by plus sign or small d, and it is known as dextrose sugar. It can also be known as dextrose sugar, or simply we can call it as a dextrose. So glucose can also be called as what? First, that is the grape sugar. Second, that is the blood sugar. And third, that it can also be called as the dextrose. These are the some important points that we have to learn from this glucose section. Note this point. After that, we will proceed to the next section. That will be the what? Galactose and fructose. Now, let us study the next type of hexose sugar, that is the fructose. As when comparison is done between glucose, fructose and galactose, that which is the most sweeter in nature. So, out of these three, the fructose is most sweetest in nature. Out of this, we know that all the type of monosaccharides are simple sugar and they can be called as sugars, okay, because they are dissolved in water, okay, so they can be called as sugar. But out of these three hexose, which is most sweeter in nature, so that fructose is the most sweeter in nature, so that's why it is called as the sweetest carbohydrate. Note this point, it is called as the sweetest carbohydrate. Out of these all the type of carbohydrates that we are having, in that the amount of sugar that is present in rich quantity is basically in fructose. That's why it is called as the sweetest carbohydrate. Now, where it is mostly found? It is mostly found or more abundantly present in the honey, means shahad, that we obtain from honeybee, and sweet fruits, the fruits which are generally sweet in nature. That's why it is known as fruit sugar. There is a simple trick. Suppose this fructose is also starting with the F letter. Which letter? F letter. And the common name of fructose is also fruit sugar. So F for fructose, F for fruit sugar. This is the common name for the fructose. Now the next thing, that it is rotating. This means it rotates the PPL into anti-clockwise direction. This means in the left direction. That's why it is known as the levorotatory and called as levulose. The glucose is known as dextrose, but fructose is known as levulose. Note this point. Suppose this is the PPL, plain polarized light, and here the fructose is kept in a container. It is a chiral compound. It is rotating the PPL into anti-clockwise direction. This anti-clockwise direction can be represented by minus L, or sorry, minus sign, and by L. That's why the dextrorotatory can be represented by plus. Okay, this is the clockwise rotation and represented by small d. Here, when it is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction, the sign will be minus and it will be represented by minus L. Okay, sorry, only L, not minus L. Minus or simply L. If it is dextrorotatory, plus and D. So it rotates the PPL in anti-clockwise direction. In which direction it is rotating? In anti-clockwise direction. So it is known as levorotatory. So fructose is called as levorotatory and it is also known as levulose. Now the next hexose, that is the galactose. Galactose is mostly present in our brain or nervous tissue. That's why the common name for the galactose is brain sugar. The sugar which is found in Dimag, brain, that is called as which sugar? Brain sugar. Okay, it is present in our mind. If any type of hormonal action or anything is going on, then this is the which sugar is providing nutrition to your nervous tissue. So which tissue is? That is the galactose. Galactose is the common source for our nervous tissue or for our brain. Now the second point, that it never occurs in free form. This is means it is never present in a free form. It always found in combination with something. For example, lactose, that is the disaccharide. It means it will be formed by the combination of two monosaccharide units. So this galactose found in combination with what? Glucose, to form a product that is known as the lactose. So this galactose always found in combination with not with the glucose, anything else also it can combine, but it will not exist freely. So this galactose combining with glucose, so it never occurs in the free form. Okay, so this is all about the type of hexose sugar, their common name. Note this point. Now we are proceeding the next section, that is the last, or the simply we can say that the largest monosaccharide, that is called as the haptoses. Okay, note this point. So the last, that is haptoses. This means the number of carbon in it will be 7. The last, that is the haptoses. Okay, as the name suggests, number of carbon is equal to how many? 7. So common formula CnH2nOn. Derive this formula. So common formula for haptoses, C7H14O7. So haptoses is the largest monosaccharide. Note this point. It is the largest monosaccharide. The largest monosaccharide is which one? Haptoses. And if anybody asks that which is the smallest monosaccharide, so C3H6O3. Trioses. Trioses is known as smallest monosaccharide. It is known as the smallest monosaccharide, trioses. So we are discussing the haptoses. So common formula is this. Example of this haptoses is pseudohaptulose. What we calling it? Pseudohaptulose. Okay. So this is all about the various type of monosaccharide on the basis of number of carbon atoms it is having. Now we will discuss the structure of this monosaccharide. What will be the structure? How many ring will be formed? We are going to discuss in the next section. Now let us discuss the various type of structures that can be present in case of the monosaccharide. Okay, so basically these monosaccharides can be, or simply we can say that the saccharides can be present in form of two. The first form is basically like this way. Suppose this is a carbon, 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 OH, like this way it is attached, OH, CH2, OH. In this manner, if it is attached, then this type of structure is called as the open chain or straight chain. Open chain or straight chain. So this is the one form in which saccharide can be written. Okay. Now the second form, where it can also be written into a ring-like structure. For example, like this. This is a ring-like structure. Okay. So the saccharides may be present either in ring manner, that is the three-dimensional view, and in the straight chain, that will be the two-dimensional view. So the structure of saccharide either in the ring form or in the open chain or straight chain. So there are the two ways through which we can write this what? Saccharides. It can be written into a straight chain form like this way, and it can also be written like this way. Okay. Now if suppose for about a ring, if a ring is formed and if it is having 6 members in it, what I am saying, if a ring is formed if it is having 6 members in it, suppose this is the first carbon, second carbon, 3 carbon, 4 carbon, 5, and there will be another CH2OH. Then how many members is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is a 6-membered ring. So when 6-membered ring are found, then it is called as pyranose ring. Which type of ring it is? pyranose ring. So sometimes the ring may be of the 6-membered. If it is of the 6-membered, then it is known as what? Pyranose ring. And if any ring is formed but it is having only 5 members, for example, like this way. Suppose this is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, and here the fifth carbon, CH2OH. This is the fifth carbon. Here, sixth carbon. Okay. So look at here. This is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon. So number of members in this type of ring is 5. So if any saccharide is forming 5-membered ring, then it is called as furanose. It can be considered as furanose. If it is forming 6-membered ring, then it is called as the pyranose. And if it is forming 5-membered ring, then it is called as furanose. Both these names, pyranose and furanose, were given by a chemist that is known as the Haworth. Note this point. Now in the next section, we are going to discuss the alpha, beta forms of the saccharide. Note this form. Before starting the actual structure of the monosaccharide, let us understand one of the important concepts that help us in order to identifying the type of monosaccharide. Either it is a D type of monosaccharide or the L type of. I am not discussing small d. I am not discussing about small d and small l because it is dextrorotatory and it is levorotatory. It may be represented by plus, it may be represented by minus. I am not discussing about that d. Okay. Sometimes whenever you see in your book, then at the last of this molecular structure, something is written D lactose or D glucose, L glucose. So the D form and L form. How this D and L form? So we have to discuss this D and L form. How this D glucose is formed, how this L glucose is formed. So this is the another thing and this is the another thing. So how this D and L glucose naming is been given, so the basis behind this we are going to read this. Suppose this is the structure of glycerol aldehyde. It is also a structure of glycerol aldehyde. So on the basis of this you can tell, yeah, it is a D glucose or it is the L glucose. First of all, you have to mark the element where CH2OH is found in any type of, either in the glucose, fructose, anywhere. You have to mark this CH2OH. Okay, here also I am marking CH2OH. Okay, now one carbon just before that, CH2OH, one carbon just before. This is the carbon. So this is the carbon. Okay, you have to first choose where CH2OH is present. Okay, and then underline it. After that you proceed further. This means to the next, or simply we can say that to the previous carbon. Move to the previous carbon. Okay, if on the previous carbon this OH is present on the right side, what I am saying, anywhere where CH2OH is present, just previous carbon to that we have to proceed there. And if OH is present on that carbon in the right side, then it is called as D-glyceraldehyde or the D-glucose, D-lactose, anything else. If it is present on the right side, first of all you have to identify this point CH2OH and then proceed to the previous carbon. If the previous carbon OH is present on the right side, then it will representing the D form. This can be called as the D-glyceride. Okay, and this is the CH2OH. Proceed to the previous carbon. If OH is present on the left side, then it can be called as L-glycerol aldehyde. Note this point. What you have to do, first of all, this is the basis through which we can tell, yeah, it is a L-glucose. Oh, it is a D-glucose. Okay, that is the another concept. That is the experimental concept that we have done. How it is rotating the plane polarized light. Okay, it can be, if it is rotating in the right direction, clockwise direction, dextrorotatory, small d or plus. If it is rotating in the left direction, L, levorotatory, or it can be represented by minus sign. But how this D and L, glucose or fructose, can be identified? So this is the basis for that. This is the structure of glyceraldehyde. So you have to identify in any type of glucose, we are going to see, you have to identify this point and then move to the previous carbon. And if the previous carbon OH is present on the right side, then it is the D form. Then if this is the CH2OH, go to the next carbon. If OH is present on the left side, then it will be called as the L-glyceraldehyde. On the basis of this, you can tell it is a L-glucose or D-glucose. Just let us suppose that structure of glucose, C double bond OH, CH OH, sorry, second OH will be here, H OH, C OH, H, C OH, H and CH2OH. Okay, now as I have told you that you have to identify that where actually CH2OH is found. So CH2OH is here. Okay, according to this basis, just move to the previous carbon. So this is the previous carbon and just see the configuration of hydroxyl group. This is the OH. OH simply means hydroxyl group. Okay, if this OH group is present on the right side, this is the structure of glucose, but I don't know which glucose, D glucose or L glucose. Just clear it, go through that. CH2OH, because is there anywhere else where CH2 is found? No, CH2 is present here. So proceeding to the previous carbon and identifying the position of OH. It is present on the right side. So it is called as D-glucose. How? Because this OH is present on the right side. So it is called as the D-glucose. Now the next thing, structure may be also drawn. C double bond O H, C O H, H, C H OH, C OH, H, C H OH, CH2OH. It is also a glucose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 carbon. It is the structure of glucose. But I don't know what type of glucose it is. Okay, so just go through the point. Identify CH2OH and then move to the previous carbon. So this is the previous carbon. Now when I proceed to the previous carbon, here OH is present on which side? on left side. So if OH is present on the left side, then this is the L-glucose. I think this has been clear in your, this concept is very much important if you are studying the structure. So how you can identify that it is a L-glucose or D-glucose? So just check CH2OH, previous carbon. If OH is present on the right side, it will be the D form. If OH is present on the left side, then it will be the L form. So D-glucose, L-glucose. In this way, we can identify any type of saccharide naming that it is a D-fructose, L-fructose, anything else. Okay, note this point. This is the basis for all of this. Suppose this is the structure of glucose. This is the structure of glucose. It is having how many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, check the formula also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carbon 6. Check the hydrogen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. H12. Now check the O. O 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the formula for the glucose. Now if I will ask that this is a D glucose or L glucose, if anybody asks that it is a D form of glucose or L form of glucose, then what you have to do, you have to identify where CH2OH is present. CH2OH. Okay, CH2OH is found here. Then you have to move to the previous carbon, that is, this is the previous carbon. Then OH is present where? So OH is present in the right side, so it is a D-glucose. It is called as the D-glucose, and this structure is open structure or open chain structure of D-glucose. Now let us see how the ring structure can be formed. In this case, you have to identify or mark carbon number first. This is completed, that if OH is present on the right side, then it is called as the D-glucose. So we have to discuss another section. First of all, this, write this, it is a D-glucose. Okay. Now take, whenever you have to make its ring form, or simply we can say that the closed ring form or the closed structure, this is the open structure, you want to draw the closed structure, then you have to concentrate your focus on carbon number 1 and carbon number 5. This carbon number 1 and this carbon number 5. Okay, now carbon and oxygen, out of this, which is most electronegative? So oxygen is most electronegative, so it will take a minus charge. Okay, and as a result of this, anyone which is giving a electron, then on that a positive charge will be appear. So oxygen is the most electronegative, so the charge which will come on that oxygen will be minus, and if any element which is giving the electron on that, this means electron donor, right? This means it is having some extra electron, it become positive ion. Okay. Now in the same manner, you have to this on first carbon, on fifth carbon. Here also O and H is present. Out of this, which is most electronegative? Oxygen. So on oxygen there will be minus charge, they will take the, and on hydrogen a positive charge will be formed, because it is a electronegativity concept, where out of carbon and oxygen which is most electronegative, so oxygen is most electronegative, so it will take the electron. So minus charge will be developed here, and on the previous atom, that will be the carbon positive. In the same manner, OH is present here. Fifth carbon, first carbon, fifth carbon, first carbon, fifth carbon, first carbon, fifth carbon. You have to learn this. Where you have to do, whenever you want to draw the what closed structure, then you have to take this first carbon and fifth carbon. So on the fifth carbon, OH is most electronegative, H is the less electronegative. So OH will take the electrons. So minus charge will be developed on O, and on H a positive charge will be developed. Now, as we know that same charges repel with each other. If it is a minus and another minus charge is coming towards the minus charge, then it will be ultimately repelled. But the opposite charges, suppose this is a plus, this is a minus, it will collide. This means attraction. So opposite charges attract to each other, and what? Same charges repel to each other. So this is what? This is H plus. This is the H is having plus charge, so it will going to combine with the negative part, that is the first part of oxygen. Okay, so it is forming a ring, and this oxygen is having negative charge, it will combine with the positive charge, so it will combine with the carbon. This H is combining, H is having positive charge, so it will combine with oxygen because oxygen having negative charge, and this oxygen is having negative charge, it will combine with the carbon. So in this way a ring will be formed. 1 2 3 4 5 6 membered ring. So let us drawing the closed structure, that is the closed ring structure. Closed ring structure. Just what I have told, you have to do this only. First, C H. Here H is the positive, H will move to the O. So OH will be formed, and after that you have to write same OH, H, CH, OH, C, OH, H. But whenever you will reach to the fifth carbon, H has gone. There is no H. Only the atom which is present is oxygen. Yeah, here hydrogen is present. Here only H has already gone to the O. This H combines with O. This H moves to O. So OH bond is formed. Now here only oxygen is present. So this oxygen will combine with carbon. So this oxygen will combine with carbon. This is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and this will attach to the sixth carbon. So in this way, suppose in this way, what the ring structure or closed ring structure is formed. What I have done nothing. Out of carbon and oxygen, which is most electronegative? Oxygen. So there will be transfer of electron. It is having minus charge, it is positive charge. Fifth carbon, you have to proceed on the first and fifth. Fifth carbon, it is also having more electronegative oxygen. This is less electronegative. Minus charge on the O and H. Now we have to move what? We have to make a ring. The ring can be formed between 1 and fifth carbon. 1 and fifth carbon. Then what we have to do? Thus like charges repel each other, unlike charges will attract to each other. This is the positive charge, this is the negative charge. So H will going to be transferred to the O, and this O is having negative charge, it will transfer to the carbon. So the ring will be forming like this, CO. This O is having, but this H will move and combine with OH. So this is the OH. Okay, and after that on the fifth carbon oxygen is present. This oxygen is combining with the positive carbon. So this is the closed ring structure. Okay, this is the closed ring structure, and this structure was given by the Fischer, Emil Fischer. That's why it is known as the Fischer projection. What I am calling it as a Fischer projection. Okay, it was given by Emil Fischer. So it is the two-dimensional view of compounds. Okay, so Emil Fischer provided a what? Closed ring structure. So this is the closed ring structure. How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is a 6-membered ring. We are going to discuss another Haworth structure also, but this is the closed ring structure. How it is formed, I already explained. Okay, but now another question arises that, first of all, write this. Okay, I will discuss. Okay, so this is the closed ring structure. Now emphasize on the closed ring structure. Okay, if OH on the first carbon, emphasize on the first carbon, if OH, so it will be present only in the which form? Closed structure. When in any closed ring structure, the first carbon, on the first carbon, OH is present on right side. On the first carbon, OH is present on right side. Then this type of closed structure can be called as alpha glucose. Yeah, alpha form can be called as alpha form. So what will be the beta form? Just write this closed structure. Okay, again I am writing C H O H C O H H C H O H C O H H C. This is a closed structure. CH2OH. So this is also a closed ring structure. It is also a closed structure. Okay. Now the basic difference is on carbon number first. On carbon number first. This is C1, C2, C3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So just concentrate your point on carbon number first. Whenever any ring structure is given like this is a Fischer projection. It is a Fischer projection. So ring structure is given. Okay. Then whenever you are emphasizing or concentrating your focus on carbon number first. So this is the carbon number first. This is the carbon number first. Okay. So I don't know anything. If hydroxyl group is present, yeah, on the first carbon, if hydroxyl group is present on right side, so it can be called as alpha form of glucose. And just concentrate on the first carbon. If this OH on the first carbon, if OH is present on the left side, it will be called as beta form. So it can be written as I have known, that is a D form of glucose. So now it can be called as this one. Here OH is present on the right side. Then what type of form it is? Alpha form. So it can be called as alpha D glucose. We have discussed glucose, D glucose. Here, whenever on the first carbon OH is present on the left side, then it is called as the beta D glucose. Okay, so how this alpha form and beta form can be obtained? So when on first carbon, if OH is present in a ring structure, so this is a part for a ring. Okay, so on first carbon, if OH is present on right side, first carbon like this, COH, H is the second carbon. So on first carbon, if OH is present on the right side, it is called as alpha form. Okay, so you have to emphasize that if OH is present on the right side of carbon number first, then it is called as the alpha form. Okay, so this is the definition. Okay, write it down. And on first carbon, if OH is present, I am erasing this, on which side? On left side. On left side, for example, C, this is a C, H, OH, H. So on first carbon, if OH is present on left side, so it will be called as the beta form. Okay, write it down. So you have to emphasize whenever a ring structure is drawn. So this is a what? This is the ring structure, that is called as the what? Fischer projection, 2D dimensional view. We will see the 3D dimensional view, no doubt. So when in a closed ring structure, on the first carbon, if OH is present on the right side, then it will be called as the alpha form. And on the first carbon, if OH is present on the left side, then it will be called as the what? Beta form. So it is the beta D glucose, it is the alpha D glucose. Note this point. Now let us see this is the Fischer projection, or we can say that the ring structure of glucose. Ring structure of glucose. Okay, it is also a ring structure of glucose. Okay, now if I will ask that if it is a alpha or beta form, then what you have to do? You have to do one thing, just go to the carbon number first. If any ring structure is present, just go to the carbon number first. Just go to the carbon number first. If OH is present on the right side on the first carbon, if OH is present on the right side on the first carbon, then it is called as the alpha form. Okay, and if OH is present on the left side, OH is present on the left side, then it will be called as the beta form. So this is alpha, as I have discussed, that is G form, alpha D glucose, and this is beta D glucose. Okay, this is the. Now this Fischer projection can be drawn into the another structure by the Haworth. So this can be converted into the Haworth structure because the Haworth has given the two type of ring structure, that is the three dimensional. This is the two-dimensional view. It is the 2D view. It is the 2D view. So 2D view is given by Emil Fischer, but 3D view has been given by the Haworth. So this alpha D glucose, this beta D glucose can be converted into Haworth ring structure. So it can be converted into Haworth structure or Haworth ring. It can also be converted into Haworth ring and Haworth structure. Okay, how this can be represented in case of Haworth ring? How many ring structure is there? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. So in Haworth ring, the structure can be represented like this. This is the Haworth ring structure. Here the carbon number first is found. Here the carbon number second is found. Here the carbon number third is found. Here the carbon number fourth is found. Here the carbon number fifth is found. And at last, what is there? CH2OH. Okay, this is the carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is the 6. And as I have done that, fifth carbon is attached with the first carbon by OO. This is the fifth carbon. This is the first carbon. Note this point. This is the first carbon. This is the fifth carbon. In between them, what is the attachment point? Attachment point is oxygen. So in the same manner, this is the first carbon. This is the fifth carbon. First carbon, fifth carbon is attached with what? This oxygen. So this Emil Fischer projection can be converted into which form? Haworth ring structure. This is the Haworth ring. Okay. Now let us, what we are discussing, that it is the Haworth ring structure. Now how all these functional group, that HOH, how it is arranged in case of this ring structure? Just you have to keep one thing in your mind, that all the components that are present in left side. What I am saying? All the components that are present in left side. So these are the components that are present in the left side. You have to place all the components that are present in left is equal to top. So top of ring. So all the components that are present in the left side, all component of left side, all the components that are present on the left side of the Emil Fischer projection will be taken on top position. On the top position of this ring will be taken on top of Haworth ring. What I have told, that all the components that are present on the left side, it will be present on the upside or the bottom side. This is the line, this is the upside, this is the downside. Up, this is down. Okay, so all the components that are present in the left side will be represented on top. Okay, now just on the first carbon, what it is? Hydrogen. So hydrogen will be present upside. On the second carbon, hydrogen will be present on the upside. OH on the upside, okay, H on the upside, okay, and on fifth CH2OH is given, so here H will be present. So all the components that are present on the left side, it will be taken on the top of the Haworth ring. And now all the components that are present on right side, okay, so the components that are found on the right side of the amyl facer will be taken on down part of Haworth ring. So left, so you have to emphasize that left is equal to top, right is equal to down. So note this point, what I am saying, left is equal to top, so the components that are present on the left side I have placed on the top position, okay. The components that are present on the right side, so right is equal to down, so it will be present on the down side. So on the first carbon on the right side, what is found? OH. So OH will be present on the down side. On the second carbon, again OH. So OH is present on the down side, okay. Third carbon, H is present. So H is present on the down side. OH, it is also present on the right side, so it will be present on the down side. So this is the basic structure or Haworth ring structure. Haworth ring structure, okay. Now in the same manner, here also you can draw the Haworth structure. Just look at here, okay. So left, what I told you, left is equal to up, left is equal to up, and all the components that are present on the right side wale, all the components will be in the down position. So this is the Haworth ring structure. How many members are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members? So 6-member ring structure called as pyranose. It is a pyranose ring because it is having 6-membered, okay. So that's why it is pyranose ring, okay. Now look at here, all the components that are present in the left side can be placed on the up of this Haworth ring. 1, this is the carbon number first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and CH2OH, that will be the 6th carbon, okay. Now put all the atoms that are present on the left side on the top of the left is equal to up of Haworth ring. Left of Fischer is equal to up of the Haworth ring. So all the components that are present on the left side will be represented on the what? Up position. So on the first, OH is present. This is the carbon number first, OH. So it is present in the left side, so it will be on the upside. Here on the second carbon, H will be upside. Here OH on the upside. Here H will be on the upside, and after that H is here because CH2OH is written here. So H is here. Now all the components that are present on the right side, it can be represented into the down of the Haworth ring. So on the first carbon, H is present on the right side. Right means down. So H, OH on the right side, so it is also on the down position. H on the right side, so it will be on the down position. OH is also on the down position. So this is also the Haworth ring structure of this. Fischer can be converted into Haworth structure. It is also known as the Haworth ring structure. Okay, how many members are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 members. So this is also a pyranose ring. Which ring it is? Pyranose ring. So you have to keep in mind all the components that are present on the left side will be presented on the top of the Haworth ring, and all the components that are present on the right side will be taking place on the down position of the Haworth ring. So this is the structure of Haworth structure, and this is also the Haworth structure. Now whenever, suppose this structure is not given, suppose this structure is really not given, then how could you identify that it is a alpha form or beta form? So okay, so how, suppose this is not given, okay, this is not given, only this much part has been given. Suppose this has not been given, okay, this Haworth structure is given, and question will be asked that which one is the alpha form and which one is the beta form on the basis of this Haworth structure. How could you identify? Again you have to go to the first carbon. This is the first carbon, this is the first carbon. Just go to, if anywhere, for whenever I was discussing about the Emil Fischer, yani Fischer projection, in that case for identification of what it is, a alpha form or beta form, where we go on the first carbon, and if on the first carbon OH on the right side, it is the alpha form, and OH on the left side, it will be the beta form. So whenever you are discussing the Haworth structure, this is the Haworth structure, and on the basis of this you have to identify that which one is the alpha form and which one is the beta form. Okay, so just go to the first carbon of this Haworth ring structure. If OH is present on downside, OH is present on the downside, note this point, OH is present on the downside, then this is the alpha form. Okay, if OH is present on the upside, then it will be called as the beta form. Okay, so write it down. When at carbon first OH is present at bottom position, bottom, this means down position, bottom या down position, called as alpha form. Okay ji. Now here OH is present on the upside, so when at carbon first OH is present on upside, this means in the upper side, called as beta form. Okay, note it down. Why it is known as the pyranose ring? Because it is made up of out of 6-membered ring structure it is. So 6-membered ring can be called as the pyranose. It is also 6-membered ring can be called as the pyranose. But whenever question will be asked that what type of glucose it is, alpha glucose or beta glucose, then you have to keep one thing in mind. If only this structure has been given, so how would you confirm that it is a beta form, yeah, alpha form? Then go to the first carbon. Okay, this is the first carbon. If OH is present on the downside, then it will be the alpha form. Okay, here also go to the first carbon. Okay, if OH is present on the upside, then it will be formed as the beta form. Okay, so this is some common concept which we have to discuss. That's why I think all these things that I have described, you really got the point. Suppose whenever any Fisher projection converted into Haworth projection, then you have to note this point. All the components that are present in the left will be represented on the top position of the Haworth ring, and all the components that are present in case of what, right side, in case of the Fisher projection, then it will be presented on the downside of the Haworth ring. If you really like this video, then like and subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you.